Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. Today I'm opening a chapter of my life that is deeply personal and in many ways transformative. I want to talk to you about my own experience in what is commonly known as a toxic relationship. This isn't just a recount of events, it's a narrative that shaped who I am today. I start this channel with the purpose to share a different perspective on the toxic relationships. One that might differ from what you have seen on other similar channels. My journey through highs and lows, the confusion and clarity has given me insight that I believe are worth sharing. In my story, you will find the moments that might resonate with your own experiences, lessons that I've learned the hard way, and perhaps a new way to look at the relationships that are often labeled as toxic. It's not just about struggles, it's about growth, the healing, and the journey towards self-discovery. So whether you're here seeking understanding, healing, or just curious about my story, I invite you to join me on this journey. Throughout my life, I've always been on a quieter side, what many would call introverted. My younger years were marked by a lack of significant experience with relationships. The connection I did have were so fleeting that barely left a mark. But then everything changed when I entered my first long-term relationship. This relationship wasn't just a milestone because this was my first serious one. It was a crucible that reshaped me. It lasted 4 years, and to be frank, those years were akin to walking through hell. This period didn't just alter how I viewed relationships. It fundamentally changed how I saw life and myself. The experience was surreal, almost dreamlike in intensity and oddness. It isn't strange how a single chapter in our life can turn everything upside down, forcing us to confront the parts of ourselves we never knew existed. This relationship, while loaded with challenges, was a journey of a self-discovery. It is these experiences, the harsh trials, and the unexpected transformations that I want to share with you, not just as a tale of a survival, but as a lesson learned, as a beacon guide us through the complexity of human emotions and connections. For this chaotic relationship, my dating life was a series of brief encounters. None of these relationships lasted more than 6 months, leaving me feeling alone and frustrated. I'm not particularly religious, but in the moment of sheer desperation, I find myself pleading with the universe or God or whatever force is out there for someone to enter my life. And let me tell you, the universe listened, but remember, be careful what you wish for. In the midst of what felt like an unending nightmare, I often cursed myself for that wish. Life has a way of answering your calls, but not always in the form you expect. It is like there is a cost to everything, some good and some bad. This crisis led me to seek deeper understanding. I turned to meditation, devoured books, and educate myself about life and relationships. It was during this period that I stumbled upon Nietzsche's Those Spoke Zarathustra. His perspective resonated with me, particularly the idea that there is no singular right path in life. Nietzsche taught me that the life is meaningless, and this is you that give the life meaning. And it's up to us to perceive it as a tragedy or comedy. For me, it leans more towards comedy these days. His famous quote, "What doesn't kill you makes you stronger," became a mantra for my transformation. I emerged from the period not as a victim, but as someone imbued with willpower and courage. I realized that not all bad things are truly bad. There are lessons, and if we approach them with open mind, they can lead to profound growth and strength. This channel, inspired by Nietzsche and my own journey, it is a testament to that belief. So let's explore together how even the darkest moment can lead to enlightenment and resilience. In my quest to understand the chaos of my past relationship, I stumbled upon a transformative concept by Carl Jung, the theory of individuation. Don't worry, I plan to delve deeper into this in a future video. But let me share a glimpse of how revolutionized my perspective. Through this theory, I discovered the concept of shadow self. This exploration was like a turning on a light in the long dark room of my psyche. I came face to face with my vulnerabilities, the parts of myself I didn't like, and perhaps, most crucially, the aspect that had drawn me to toxic relationships. I uncovered the roots of my anger, my sense of a self-worth, and so much more that had been lurking in my unconscious mind. And I have to tell you, it wasn't an overnight transformation. This journey of individuation helped me channel what I initially perceived as negative traits into source of a power and productivity. I learned that if you keep falling into bad relationships, it's partly because you're failing to recognize the red flags. If you allow someone to treat you like doormat, it's because you haven't set your boundaries. One of the great examples of this transformation is this channel. I turned all the negativity, the anger, and the pain into something productive. I learned that the darker parts of ourselves hold immense power that shouldn't be run from, but understood and harnessed. Anger, for instance, can be a fantastic motivator if controlled and directed positively. It's about being aware of these emotions, understanding them, and then using them to fuel constructive change. That's what I've done, and I'm here to share how you can do it too. Now, let's talk about the dark side of my experience, the profound impact of toxic relationship I endured. It's important to share this, not to dwell on the pain, but to acknowledge the reality of many face in similar situations. During this period, I lost all of my confidence. I felt like the gears of my life ground to a halt. I stopped working on my projects. Nothing brought satisfaction. I remember feeling drained all the time. The emotional pain began manifesting physically. My feet were constantly cold, and I had a present pain in my left arm all the time. All the symptoms of high stress levels I was enduring. The depression led to insomnia. I restored to sleeping pills, but over the time, even they lost their effectiveness. But the worst part, the most terrifying, were the panic attacks. They were like living nightmares, moments where I genuinely felt like I was on the verge of death. I know this is hard to hear, but it is the truth of what can happen in clutches of narcissistic relationship. They drain you, seeking to build their own confidence at the cost of your well-being. It is a long list of harrowing experiences, and I could go on until the morning detailing the horrors. Even after the relationship ends, the pain lingers, sometimes for years. It's a shadow that follows you, a reminder of what you have been through. Let's dive into most challenging chapter of my journey, the transformation within the abyss of a toxic relationship. It's a part of my story that is difficult to share, but it's essential for understanding the profound impact such experiences can have. I often recall the words of Nietzsche: "Whoever fights monsters should see to it that in the process he does not become monster. And if you gaze long enough into an abyss, the abyss will gaze back into you." Each word resonates with the painful transformation I underwent. In the throes of this toxic relationship, I felt a shift within me. the constant barrage of negativity, manipulation, and emotional abuse began to erode my sense of self. I was losing touch with who I was and morphing into a version of myself I barely recognized. My partner at the time seemed intent on breaking down my kindness, my empathy. They seemed threatened by any goodness in me, as it conflicted with their narrative of being a good one in the relationship. Their tactics were subtle yet relentless: constant criticism, gaslighting, and emotional manipulation designed to make me doubt my reality and worth. As I spiraled further into this abyss, I began reacting in ways that were alien to my true nature. Anger, resentment, and desire for retaliation start to replace my once calm demeanor. I find myself lashing out, not just at my partner, but at the world around me. I was becoming the very thing I had always stood against. In the midst of this turmoil, I faced a haunting realization. Looking in the mirror, the person staring back was a stranger, someone consumed by bitterness and hurt. It forced me to confront painful question. How did I become this person? Can I find my way back to who I once was? Am I too far gone? It was the moment of reckoning, a call to rediscover the true self amidst the chaos. As we come to the end of this journey, I want to leave you with the message of hope and resilience. The path through toxic relationship is fraught with the challenges, pain, and often profound loss of a self, but is also a path that can lead to incredible growth, understanding, and strength. Through my story, I've shared the depths of a despair and heights of a self-discovery. I've learned that even in our darkest moments, there is a light waiting to be found. It takes courage, reflection, and often a leap of faith to emerge from the shadows. I've learned to embrace my vulnerabilities, to understand my shadows, and to see that strength in what once seemed like a weakness. This journey has taught me the importance of a self-awareness, setting boundaries, and the power of transformation. To anyone watching who is going through a similar experience, know that you're not alone. Your journey is unique, but the lessons and the strength you gain from it are universal. Use your experiences, both good and bad, as a stepping stone to build a stronger, more aware, and more compassionate version of yourself. Thank you for joining me on this journey. Remember, every experience, especially the challenging ones, carries with the seeds of a growth and rebirth. Keep moving forward, keep growing, and keep believing in your own resilience. Until the next time, take care and continue to explore the path to your true self.